I'd like to call the order meeting of Cascade Township Planning Commission. Let's see, November 3rd, 2025. Article 2, stand for Pledge of the Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Article 3, I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved to approve it. Support.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Article 4, disclose any conflict of interest.
None. None.
All right. Article 5, approve the minutes of September 22nd, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Article 6, acknowledge visitors and those wishing to speak. If you're here to speak on one of the 2 public hearing cases that we're going to listen to, there'll be an opportunity to speak then. But if there's something else you want to speak on other than those 2, this is your chance. Anybody in line? Oh, good. All right. Okay. Article 7, case number 25-3899. Applicant Daniel Woods.
I was hoping that somebody would filibuster in public comment.
I can
That
filibuster
was not
a little
loaded.
bit. and-
I have to go. Okay,
He's having the same problem.
it's working now.
His computer's updating, so you know that's a lot of drama.
Oh my, yeah.
Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna go upload all my pictures.
Perfect. Okay, well, the next item, I'll ramble and you can let me know if you need me to stop and we can pull the agenda.
Cause we can switch his computer over.
Yeah, then what I'm gonna do, give me just a second to.
I think he has one. It's just, he was trying to, I think, pull up the packet. We're close. We're getting closer.
I'm gonna change this so that what I'm looking at on this screen is then also
Type in Cascade.
mirrored on that screen.
Sure.
Speak.
A little bit. No.
People were hanging out, that's at the end of the night up there. Pretty sweet. It's fun, right?
Okay.
There we are.
Yep.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, the,
Yeah, that wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna take. When it said it was.
Did yours
completing,
pull up?
I was like, oh no. Yeah.
You up and running, Robert?
okay.
I am there. Yes.
Excellent.
Hey, the item in front of you right now is 8300 Cascade Road. 8300 Cascade Road is a 1.6 acre lot, located in the R1. The property surrounding it are R1. And it looks like actually the properties adjacent on the other side of Cascade Road are actually zoned R2. The current property has about a 1,700 square foot house with an attached garage, which brings it to about. You guys all have them up in front of you because I'm not gonna be able to switch back and forth between the actual image.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it looks like the properties to the north are actually ARC, Agricultural Rural Conservation. I might actually, Nick, can you check that? Because I think they might be R2.
I think so too, because they're 1 acre lots.
Yeah,
out there. I think it's all R2 out there.
yeah, I think, yep, the properties to the south and the
Their houses.
west and east are R1, but I think that the property to the north is actually R2. Okay, the applicant is requesting a 1,500 square foot accessory structure on the residential lot. Accessory structures over 832 square feet are special use in the current zoning ordinance. They require a hearing before the planning commission to determine if they're appropriate for the zone district and as proposed. It's ARC, okay.
How did they get, how'd they get to be 1 acre lots?
I love when you ask me historically, how, why,
I'm like, those aren't allowed.
it may be platted, but I think there might be one street. I'll just pull that up for a minute.
The one behind that, looks like they'd be agricultural.
If you can see, it looks like this development. I am actually would be surprised if that was ARC. You're positive looking at the map, Nick?
Yep,
Okay,
It is on our
So-
township map too, which is really weird.
yeah,
I don't know how they got 1 acre lots.
yeah. It doesn't surprise me. It may have been zoned R1 at some other point. I don't recall. I never
Oh.
don't recall seeing a map with R1 that extend smaller lots that extended down there, but it may have at some point been R1. Okay, the subject property is located on the south side of Cascade Road. It's situated east of Buttrick and near the intersection of Cherry Lane and Cascade Road. Surrounding lots are single-family residential dwelling units. The applicant's requesting type 2 special use. This primary structure is set back approximately 70 feet from the street. The new accessory structure would be located behind the front face of the home, about 7 feet, I believe. So it meets the front yard setbacks for the zone district. It's proposed to be located 61 feet off of the east property line. And the height, which meets the requirements for a structure of this height located in a residential zone district. So today, the planning commission should consider the intent and use of the building, the proposed location and type, the size of the building, and the type and kind of principal building in comparison to the accessory building. Also topography and vegetation of the land. So when we looked at whether or not this would be an appropriate location and size for this building, we did find that the intent of the use of the building is consistent with that of other R1 properties. The applicant proposes to use it to store his truck, dirt bikes, quads, and side by side. And the applicant is not intending to use this for an ADU or a home occupation. The proposed location and type of the building, the proposed accessory building is intended to appear similar in architectural character to the residential home with similar siding as shown in the image. Staff finds that the location of the proposed accessory is more consistent with that of a principal structure, given that the structure is similar in size to a single-family residential structure. A structure of this size may be more appropriate setback further from Cascade Road. The total finished area of the current principal structure is 17,000 square feet. With an attached garage, the accessory or the entire principal structure is roughly 22,000 square feet, 2,200 square feet. Do you want to say that there is bonus storage listed on the area, on the elevations that is proposed to be made out of OSB? So the applicant is not proposing a finished second floor, though the height of the building may would allow for potential second floor in the structure at some point. That is, though, by the applicant's testimony, they did not intend to do that. Only 6 previous requests within all zone districts were approved for accessory buildings greater than or equal to 1,500 square feet on a parcel of this size. Additionally, only 2 of the requests were for properties where the home was smaller than the applicant's home. The size of this structure is in comparison to the principal structure and other principal structures in the vicinity is large. Based on previous approved accessory buildings, this would be one of the largest accessory buildings approved on a lot of this size. The accessory building footprint in comparison to the principal footprint is 66%. No notable accessory buildings are located on the property. No notable accessory buildings are located on the adjacent properties located off of Cascade Road or in the general area. There is a couple accessory buildings, one located to the north in this development, still located at 4357 Cherry Lane. Not near as large as the proposed structure. And then to the south on a lot with 7.4 acres, there is another large structure. Can't remember the exact measurement. Measuring roughly 50 by 80. This is completely rough, but about 50 by 80 square feet. That's to the south of the property on a much larger parcel. The property line to the east and west and south have significant tree coverage, providing screening for neighboring parcels. The north property line and front yard contain a few mature growth trees. Additionally, the applicant is proposing to add screening trees. So they're proposing pine trees to the east side of the property in between the proposed structure and the garage of the adjacent property to the east. The image below illustrates the approximate location of the proposed building. It is not to scale. Proposed accessory structure is approximately 9 feet behind the front plane of the home. From this aerial image, you can see that there is some significant tree coverage. The applicant, I will say also, if you look at the image before you, there is a second accessory structure, at this time, one accessory structure located on the southwest side of the property that the applicant is proposing to move.
Move it or destroy it?
I'm sorry, remove.
Remove, okay.
Let's finish that word. When considering whether the proposed building will affect the light, air circulation, any adjoining properties, the applicant is meeting that 60-foot property from the setback from the adjacent property and meets all the other setbacks. So that standard is likely met. The standard 7, whether the proposed building will adversely affect the view of any adjacent property owners or occupants. The proposed location of the accessory building will likely change the view of the neighboring locations across the street at 8301 and 8333 Cascade Road. If you will see in front of you, the applicant has provided 2 letters of support that were provided today for adjacent properties. I believe it's the adjacent property to the east, which is likely significantly impacted by this property. And the other one is 8244. So the adjacent property to the west as well. But we haven't heard anything from the properties across the street. The proposed building, we should consider whether the proposed building will adversely affect the view of any adjoining property owners. We just kind of discussed that. It could negatively impact the neighbors across the street. There is ample tree cover. The scale and height of this structure will likely still make it potentially visible to the neighboring properties. The applicant is proposing to add additional pine trees, and we discussed that. Still, it's a large structure. This is similar to the Whispering Ridge property that you looked at, that the Planning Commission looked at back in, I believe, February of this year. This is a residential zone district, and the structure will most certainly have a visual impact on neighbors. The point of access to the proposed building and their relationship to the adjoining property and the view from the adjacent street. We had a lengthy conversation with the applicant about the proposed driveway. The applicant had provided a plan that showed the structure to the east and then a U-shaped driveway with a T. Our ordinance doesn't explicitly ban U-shaped driveways, but best practices say, especially on a road like Cascade, and this is detailed in the staff review. On a road like Cascade, we all understand the problems we've had with Whitneyville Road and Cascade right there. This is kind of the spot where Cascade widens and cars tend to like open up and just start going pretty fast down that maybe the present company, but
Not just
this
cars.
tends to be an area where we do want to limit the number of driveways, just based on the fact the more driveways you have, the more accidents, the more potential points of contact you have. So I have encouraged the applicant, one, to talk to the Kent County Road Commission in advance of this meeting, and hopefully that, that's probably going to be a tough one, but it appears that maybe he's had some contact. And two, consider putting in a T where he can do a turnaround either in front of or around his site, and limiting the amount of driveways for safety reasons. So there are some elements of this site that really, I think, have to be answered. Is this the right location? Is this the right scale? Is this the right size? And is it compatible and harmonious with a R1 residential zone district? There are obviously ARC properties to, further east and to the north, but this is an R1 property, and this is a little bit larger than what typically has been allowed. So the planning commission should take that into consideration. We have, based on, the findings of fact, made a recommendation to deny, again, based on previous approvals, the size, the scale. However, if the planning commission does recommend or does decide that approval is the right route to go, the planning commission or the planning department has provided some mitigating factors that may help this to be more appropriate. We have these 2 letters of support. Haven't received any other formal, we did receive one concern about the size of this structure and that it wasn't appropriate, but no formal letters of opposition. With that, I'll let the planning commission ask any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for staff?
Could you remind me what this is likely to look like under the new ordinance?
Yeah, it's unclear right
Okay.
now, because I think that this accessory buildings is something that's gonna be revisited again.
Okay,
Based on what the planning commission recommended, I know the height is much taller than what was recommended at that point in time.
I just forget, was it when we looked at it last, is it staying the same where like anything over this arbitrary dimension comes to us for review?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything over 825 square feet.
Currently, but that is gonna change
It
in the
will
new ordinance.
change in the new ordinance. It's just not clear what the number will be.
Yeah, so
The square footage number.
currently,
Likely to increase?
yes.
Yeah.
Currently for lots this
But not
size-
like maybe this much.
Okay, any potential reference to like ratio or anything like that? It's just if it's over a certain size, it's
Based on lot size.
okay.
So that's the other thing. It would. I don't even want to say, because I feel like it's still in talk, but I think it will be based on lot size over 2 to 3 acres is where the number will start bumping up.
Okay,
So there used to be, you could have so many structures, all of them under 832 square feet, but we kind of took away that it's still the number of structures, but the cumulative square foot fee is determined by acreage. So this structure likely would be allowed by size, but not by height. So again,
Which again is subject to
yeah,
still being discussed.
okay.
Well, there's one question about the driveway. If Kent County approves the driveway, they would be the best when it comes to knowing the traffic patterns and the concerns.
You would think, right?
Yeah, I would
Yes,
think. I mean,
right?
that's what they do. They say, well, it's gonna be too risky to put another driveway in. Shouldn't we wait to see what they say first before we say either yay or nay on the driveway?
So that is an option. If the planning commission finds that they don't have adequate information, and would like more information from the applicant. First off, we can hear from the applicant to see if that's available, or second, you could wait to hear from the Kent County Road Commission before making your.
I mean,
formal
I
approval.
assume the applicant's gonna say they wanna build the building, or they get an extra driveway.
We can ask them that before we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other?
You'll get to come up.
Yeah, we're doing our,
Tom.
you'll get there. Sorry. Anybody have any other questions for staff?
There were 6 previous requests that were approved for something larger. Is
Yeah,
that what I?
yeah, I mean, I looked through the chart a little bit, and the thing that.
Were they R1? Were they in R1s?
Well, they were bigger, like, so one was 1,500 square feet, and the house was 1,200 square feet, but it's on 8 acres.
Oh, you got it there.
So
It's a
it's,
Lot sizes.
so it's
were-
the lot size, right?
Different.
So it's,
I think the board is looking more at the lot size.
Yeah.
Versus
Got it.
what.
Because it was
zones
such, so,
But
so varied.
Crowding
Okay.
so
Crowding a lot much. I mean,
it's,
I was just looking at precedent.
yeah, so look at the percentages.
Just
here.
pulling it up. If you toggle
Oh, yeah,
over.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we had a couple that,
Oh, okay.
Well, and I mean, again, it's hard to tell with this percentage of principal structure because they also have an attached 2-car garage that's being included in the 66% of their, you know what I mean? And you can't tell by looking at this whether these homes had garages or not. And that might have been the reason why they needed a large structure outside.
Right.
Andrea, you created these like that you have up here.
Some extent. That I built on previously.
the grids, yeah, those were done previous to Andrea.
Okay.
So it's unclear when I look at this, if they've one of the issues in the past that we talked about, if they're calculating floor area or footprint, if in the calculations of the homes, they're calculating footprint, or if they're calculating multiple stories. So it's not a complete
And whether it
picture.
includes garages or not.
Yes, yep, correct.
Are the numbers, like the case numbers, do the first 2 digits relate to the year?
Year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So our
Okay.
records for
Yeah.
this go back about 10 years. I think that
So
accessory
the most
structure.
recently, it looks like it's closer to the 1,200.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any more questions for staff?
I don't.
No,
Okay, would the applicant like to come up and? So just state your name and address for the record, please.
Oh, Daniel Woods, 8,300 Cascade Road.
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know, I've never done one of these.
That's all right, just really, just relax, just, you're fine.
Well, I know like, my survey says my property is 1.88, not 1.6.
Okay,
I mean, I know we're splitting hairs here. And then, you know, I had letters from both my neighbors. I walked them around, showed them. They said, that's sweet. Why do you have to ask permission? I don't know. I'm just, you know, so.
Yeah.
I know everyone's fine with it. And, you know, from what Ryan told me is. He says hopefully on November 6th, 1,500 square foot is the. You know, the new square foot that you're allowed. And so I would have to technically go down 2 more feet, which I could. So. You know, I'm like, well, I've already paid, let's try to push this through.
Sure.
So, and you know, as far as the double driveway. You know, if I can get it, it'd be great, you know, I have snowmobile trailers and, you know, and people go 70 miles an hour down the road, and, you know, we counted from my house to here, there's 11 of them exactly like this, from here. From my house to 28th Street. On Cascade Road, they have double driveways because it makes sense, because. I back out on there all the time, and there's been a lot of close calls, you know, so going out, I mean, to me, makes sense. You know, where you can always go out forward versus backing out or trying to back a trailer out or, you know, something like that, so, but I'm not opposed to. Any other, you know, options or whatever, I mean, I'm open to anything, really, you know, so.
so are you putting in a new septic I thought I saw something somewhere
Yeah,
that says,
yeah,
it's in the
are you
drawing.
moving it?
In the drawing.
Yeah, cause my current septic is literally underneath the barn,
Okay,
you know, and, you know, I know you mentioned potentially moving it back, but you know, talking to my neighbor to the east. He's like, this makes the most sense, cause it's in between our houses, if they wanna move it back, then I'm gonna be staring at it. You know, but I am gonna be putting trees the whole way and. You know, putting a big buffer against Cascade Road. So. Once I'm done. I don't think you'll be able to see it.
so you're saying if you put if you talked about when you say move it back, you meant the storage, the
Yeah.
accessory building, you talk about moving it back and then your neighbor's saying, well, great, then I'll see it more. if it
Correct.
moves back.
Yeah, because
Okay,
right now it's almost between our houses.
sure.
Where they don't, I think they have one window.
And his garage is on that side.
Correct, yeah, and there's like one window, but we have, you know, 60-foot tall pine trees there. You know, so he's like, to me, this makes the most sense. So, and
What kind of
That's
buffers
fine.
are you gonna put on the front? On the
in front,
Yeah,
like, I don't know if you noticed, like, they just cut down a bunch of trees and then they've been planting new ones, like, do something similar to that, where like,
Okay.
kind of like a berm, bunch of random pine trees and, you know, ornamental grasses, and like, to kind of create that buffer from Cascade Road.
and it's high because of the RV, right? Is that why you're getting it so
The what?
high? You've got it really, it's a high building. The reason for the height is because an RV, is there an RV that you're putting in there?
No, I might put a car lift in there,
Or? Okay,
you know, to work on things. I don't necessarily have to have that height, but under the current rules, I mean, the height is within the, you know,
regulation
what,
code.
yeah,
Yep.
and, you know, the square footage is bigger than what it is, but I'm being told by Ryan in the new proposed thing, that's gonna be the new minimum square foot, so.
Who's Ryan?
Senate, our
Township,
zoning.
which he's not,
Yeah,
he's not gonna be fighting about this.
okay.
So, I mean, and I don't.
I was just asking who's Ryan, because I don't recognize the, yeah.
So, yeah, so, but, you know, I'm open to anything,
Okay,
so,
thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanna, is there anybody have any other questions? Anything else you wanna say?
not that I can remember.
Okay, hey, that's fine. All right, thank you.
Yep,
You will note, like in the items of approval, we had some concerns about the survey versus the hand-drawn sketch that's in front of you, because it doesn't show exactly. Right now, the existing well is located offsite on the property to the east. The applicant has stated that they would be willing to move that well as well if it's necessary, but there, in the survey that was provided, which is not right in front of you, there is an easement, a 5-foot easement on either side of the line of that well that runs from the neighbor's property to their current principal structure. So we're gonna likely want a survey that shows, one, the distance between the house and the accessory structure is in fact more than 10 feet, which is required. Two, that the 60-foot that's required from the current ordinances is met, and three, that the location of the new barn or new accessory structure doesn't impact the existing or proposed water lines. If this is.
Okay,
the easement's only on the neighbor's property,
Right.
the easement's not on mine, and it says.
come up to the mic, just so it's all recorded, so we just gotta.
Yeah, so the easement's just on the neighbor's property, because when the lady before me split it up, I don't know why, but the well was on his property and you know, they show on the original survey approximate water line, which is completely it's going right to the side and actually goes to the front of in the middle of the house, so it's not gonna impose. I mean, I can see how you would see that, but the water line for the well is not in the way of the structure. You know,
Okay,
if it is, I'll move it,
okay.
you know, just like the septic.
Are you running electricity to the,
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you're gonna run a lift, is there gonna be any outside lighting on the?
I'm sure there'll be, you know, by the service door,
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be lighting there.
All
Yeah.
right, but not like floodlights going out into the, okay.
No.
Anyone else? Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you.
Yep.
Entertain a motion to go to public hearing.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, is there anybody online or? Okay, anybody? I'm guessing she's with you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. I don't like that it's big. I don't like that it's kind of towards the front, right? I think I could probably live with the second driveway. I understand why he doesn't want to push it back. I mean, I'd probably get behind those two. I just, man, 1,500 square feet, that's big.
And
And the height.
Well, that did make sense as far as moving it back, then the neighbor could see it. Right now,
Yeah.
it is basically blocked by the garage, right? So.
And moving it back, the neighbors across the street are still gonna see it, so that
It's
doesn't,
not gonna
right?
make
Well,
a
that-
difference there, right?
I mean, I want it smaller. And I know that it's not gonna be. No, I don't know that, cause you guys have to argue it out, but I know the numbers are not anywhere near 1,500.
the height is nowhere near 27 feet.
Yeah,
And again, it's hard because it's near the R or the ARC area.
yeah,
But it's R1, you know, this is the same zoning, the lot sizes are much smaller. There's a reason the zoning's different between the ARC and the residential because of lot sizes.
yeah.
Likely for the new ordinance, they're still permitted to come back and ask for exceptions.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1,200 square feet and. God dang, what's the height on this again?
27 feet.
Jeez, Pete, I'm trying to think like, okay, so a lift.
And it's not a peaked roof, so that's part of the issue too, is it'd be, and again, talking current zoning versus new zoning, the height is measured differently. Current zoning, it's actually measured at the midpoint of the roof line. New zoning is actually measured to the peak. So when I say 27 feet, I'm referring to the peak. This building doesn't have much of a peak. It is the way it's built.
Yeah.
The majority of the building is very high. And I think right now, the current zoning's 22 height for one in this district.
I was gonna suggest lower than that.
No, I agree. Cause I don't know if 22, the proposed zoning is 22.
Right,
No.
I mean, I was thinking 17, but I don't know, I mean, I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Right.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I struggle with these ones personally. As you had like for a lot of, and let's just for some comments for you guys too. You know, our job up here is that there's this ordinance in place. We kind of have to sit here and follow the ordinance. And while it does allow for you to, you know, exceed these sizes, I mean, to me, if I kind of read between the lines in the ordinance, you know, placing a limit of 800 and some square feet on an accessory building seems to say to me, the intent behind the ordinance is like, we don't want big accessory buildings, like, or a big barn structure, you know, to be built in R1. And so, you know, that's the challenge, right? Is so then for me to try and find a way that to say that you meet these factors, I think you do meet the first two, but crux of it really is kind of in this third, fourth factor, like the size of the building in relation to the house, lot, and zoning district. It's just big, you know, and I think on the fourth factor, you know, I could maybe sway there because it makes some reference to the general area and, you know, you guys, so it doesn't say like just within your district or R1, talks about the type and kind of buildings located in properties in the general area. And you guys do get kind of out there towards, you know, the more rural setting. And you know, I could see the look of a barn, not seeming crazy out of place, in your general area. So I'm usually not the one that needs convincing. Up here. Two, I would say too, like, I think it is really helpful and, you know, the commission, other commissioners do take this into consideration that, you know, to get some input from your neighbors. But also, unfortunately, it can't be for us that like, just because the neighbors all get together and say it's okay, like it is okay, right? If that were the case, we could approve all kinds of crazy stuff, right? That's like just, hey, my neighbor doesn't mind, so we're gonna like build this big zip line across all our properties or whatever, you know, so so I mean, but to me that makes a difference, and I appreciate the effort. And I'd also say too, it sounds like Andrea is saying at some point she would need a better survey. I'm also conscious of the fact that, I mean, it's not free. It's costs money to go get a survey. I know there's stuff that we do need ahead of time. Seeing a drawing ahead of time doesn't really bother me, rather than to say that you need like to go pay who knows how much money to, you know, to have this professionally surveyed when it's still really up in the air on our end. I also, last comment, I don't think really it's like before us to talk about the driveway, is that? I mean, to me, that makes sense. I understand like, hey, I do appreciate your comments, which is talking about, well, we want to limit access points, but also I certainly think eliminating someone backing out or like backing a trailer out or in.
I think our job is more condition. So
Yeah.
like it would be, if that were the case, I do think it's something we have to look at as a condition of approval. Like, okay, we would have to have a road commission approval for this. Because we shouldn't be making those decisions, but
Right.
the road commission should, and we shouldn't be allowing people to get a building permit either without a condition that they have to get that from a road commission. That's where I think that piece comes in.
And
Okay.
procedurally, if the structure didn't exist and they wanted to redo their driveway, currently we don't have authority over that. It would be a permit that comes from the road commission.
Right.
Now, if they were building a new driveway and a new home, we would most certainly require that in advance of building a new structure. So that would be a factor that building would look at in this situation, just because they're changing the curb cuts.
Mhm.
I think I'd be okay with the height if it was further back in the property too, you know? I just, you know, more behind the house instead of right next to it. But I understand that creates other problems with the neighbors, right? The neighbor to the, is that the west? East.
I would have to look at.
So, I mean, I think I would support something in the, like I said, 1,200 square foot. And if that number doesn't fly with you guys, pick another number that we can discuss.
Job to negotiate what, or to decide what is presented to us.
Well, but we have said, listen, if you're willing to, you know, we can ask the applicant, if you're willing to do these numbers, we'll approve it.
Right.
And we've done that before.
But then we don't get to see it again either.
Yeah, I would suggest that if you want to see something different, or if you have feedback for the applicant and you're not ready for a straight denial, that you just postpone the decision and let the applicant come back and hear your feedback and provide a different
Cause I think that opens us up to telling them what we want, but then it comes back as a completely different structure, but we would never see it.
You heard what we're talking about,
A little bit, yeah.
right? So we're taking from going from 1,500 square feet to 11 or 12, going from 27 high to 20, 22, something like that.
Where are we measuring from? The peak or
At this point, still.
not the midpoint, which is what,
Right.
because it is within the height.
Now,
Yeah,
The current.
current.
yeah,
But see, this is just part of the part that I think bothers me is we're taking the pieces of the current zoning and pieces of what the proposed zoning and deciding the two pieces we want that are both the biggest out of each of them. And that's what we're proposing.
right.
And I don't think that that's the right way to look at it either.
Because I'd rather make it, like me personally, I'd rather make it shorter and keep the 1,500 square feet. You know,
I would think it needs to be both smaller and shorter.
you know, and you know, the other option is, you know, like, I think I spoke to her on it, you know, I got stuff outside, and so it's either it goes into a building, or I have to get a trailer, put stuff in, or what, you know, it's like the storage is still gonna be there. You know what I mean? You know, if you go look at my neighbor across the street, I mean, it's like, looks like he has a junkyard. And it's, you know, but that's okay. You know,
But you,
and it's like,
also in your proposal have you have a 30 by 50 barn, but you also have a 30 by 50 cement pad next to it as well.
no, not cement,
What is it?
gravel.
Okay, but the point is, are you gonna be storing stuff on that gravel next to your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the good argument is I'm gonna put all my stuff in, if you approve this, I'm gonna put all my stuff inside this barn. When, yeah, that's what I'm saying, you really have stuff already in a plan to put just as much stuff next to it, next to your neighbors
Well,
anyways.
not just as much, but
Wendy, what would you think if he made it? And I'm asking,
Mhm.
right now it's 30 by 50. What if he did 20 by 60, right? So it's deeper, but it's not as wide. He still gets the same square footage, but it's deeper because nobody really sees the deep, right?
Yeah,
I'm asking, you know.
I just know that the problem I think I have is the size and the height, just like you had said before.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I don't disagree. I'm trying to find a way to kind of. The size and the height that's what's getting us. So, I'm okay with the location. I'm okay with the driveway. It's the size and the height. And for me, if I had to pick one, it's the height, right? But she's right.
I mean,
it's-
I can, you know. I can lower it, but I just, you know, driving around and. You know, we've all seen pole barns, they don't look that nice, not that I'm building, but like. The gambrel roof looks more fitting,
Yeah.
you know, for the white ranch, you know, country style farmhouse, like. A more barn looking thing would look more suitable than just a 412 pitch on a 16-foot sidewalk, you know? I mean, to me, that looks, you know, I drive by, they look ugly, you know, you drive by. The ones with the gambrel roof and, you know, they look like they're more or less. Part of like what it's supposed to be,
Sure.
you know?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I hear you on that one too. I would assume the height is an aesthetic thing, though again, I have to take my guidance from these ordinances and. I'm looking at the one that's before us today, but it sounds to me like the future idea is like. Somebody's saying we actually don't want buildings in that style, right? We don't want people out there building buildings that look like barns. And that's why we're like changing the height, right?
No, I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is that historically, people have played with pitches in order to get a tall enough building to put a second story in it. And that's why we care more, I think, about the height from the peak is only to prevent people playing with pitches to get, because if you're going from a midpoint of a building, your roof like this is way different than a roof
Oh,
like
yeah.
this.
Right.
And so that is the main thing. When we're looking at impact to the neighbors, it really is the height, not how that height is dispersed over the full roof size. So I think that's the intent of
Sure.
the board, and the new zoning is just the overall height, not necessarily to the midpoint, because people play with it all day long.
Remind me, Andrea, is it currently the square footage allowed based on this acreage is 828 or something?
825.
832.
832.
I couldn't, I kept looking for it, I couldn't.
832.
So we're
And that's,
basically-
that's without,
Yeah.
without having to come to the, I mean, you have to go get a permit, right? But you don't, if there's no approval, it's automatically approved.
Right, so it's basically almost twice the size of.
It's
what's currently.
670 square feet, something like
Yeah.
that.
Well done, math boy.
So.
And then, I think we can talk about, I just don't know why at this point this is the code that we're working with. I mean, I don't see why we should be, nothing's approved for the new ordinances. So I think seems to me, we have to sort of stick to that. I mean, we can look forward into the future, but who knows what that's gonna bring.
No, I agree with you
Yeah.
totally, but for me, I was asking more to
I
try to
understand.
tell him, tell the applicant if maybe their chances are better
Later.
Cause right now it's just such a big jump, and so for me, if, hey, 1200's approved under the new ordinance, and maybe you can live with that, you don't even have to come back here. And even then, if the size is likely to go up and you're asking for what seems like a pretty modest increase in size. And at least for me, if you were able to articulate why that extra little bit of size, makes a difference for you. Those are things that I would listen to, but here kind of saying, gosh, it is big, right?
Yeah. And see, I would say that when the new ordinance comes out, if we bump it to say 1200, I'm gonna be less likely to, listen, we already gave another 400 square feet, like, probably not gonna give you
And
much more.
this is the deal, it's hard to
Yeah.
break a new precedent.
Yeah. So, but that's, I hear what you're saying.
And it wouldn't come to us anyways, it'll go to the ZBA.
Yeah.
Where it belongs.
Yeah. So, and the ZBA will shut it down. They're going to, if we
Bunch of
don't,
jerks
it's
over
at the
there.
precedent, it's at the
Yeah.
precedent,
Especially new,
and it
yeah.
just, so what's the point in having a number if, we approve above it, so. All right, so then I guess there's two avenues, well, there's really three avenues. Three avenues is shorter and smaller, postpone it until the new ordinance, or deny. I mean, kind of prove, but I don't know, do we want more discussion?
One of the things you were saying was that the roof is maybe too high, and I'm looking at it. You make it more into a mansard roof and still have a kind of a feel of a barn. Is that workable?
What's a mansard roof?
Oh, mansard, the top, it goes straight across instead of peak.
Okay,
So you can take a few feet off, because one of my houses had a mansard roof.
yeah,
And so everything's the same, except the roof is straight across the top. And if you take
Hold up
like
some
4 to
images.
5 feet off the top, and it's a mansard.
well, then it's 22, which gets us into
Yeah, no, I think
Yes.
that's
To the
the
height.
Andrea's doing it.
it gets us into the height then, doesn't it?
That's up to the owner, if they would live with a mansard type.
I have no problem making it short. I just figured I'd maximize square footage, storage and stuff, but. The house right now has a 412 pitch roof. If I did. 14-foot sidewalls, which is what's proposed with the 412 pitch roof. It would probably come down. Close to 4 feet. In height.
I think the only way you're gonna get it approved if it's 1200 square feet and it's 22 high. I mean, I hate to. I'm trying to work with you, dude, but it's gonna get shot down unless it's 22 high and 1200 square feet. I mean, we can postpone it and you can take a shot later with the new ordinance. You can do 22 and 1200 now, or we can. I mean, I'm trying to work with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that much different than the size of the building, though. Right?
Between 12 and,
1,500.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the footprint, I mean, it's very, but they, well, I couldn't tell they're two different, you know.
Yeah. Well, if it's not that big of a difference, it shouldn't be that big of a deal for you to concede it. So, okay.
It has to do with the length of your trailer, doesn't it?
Well, that and, you know, fitting things in there,
Yeah.
you know. So, yeah, we got 5 kids, we have lots of vehicles.
I get it.
It's,
I get it.
It's such a big jump from the 830 right now, in my mind.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
Well, it sounds to me like if we just voted just yay or nay, it's gonna get shot down.
If we do, I mean, we
You
could,
could always do like a roll.
can we do a straw poll?
We're talking about though, based on the current,
Current,
Why do it, why don't you wait and either postpone it or I guess approve it? I don't think that's only 2 ways to really go, isn't it?
I would, yeah,
So if you postpone it and then have them a chance to kind of look it over, because it costs money every time you change these things, so we want to make sure the next change would be the approved change.
well, and that's probably the best thing for the applicant. I mean, at least if, because I don't. Bob, I mean, I don't think it's gonna get approved. Right? I mean, I don't know. I can't read other people's minds, but I can pretty much see that it probably won't get approved, right? So, I mean, it's either that or we postpone it and let's see what the new ordinance kicks in. But we're only kicking it, we're down the road 30 days, aren't we?
Well, I don't make that determination. The board currently is proposing to adopt the new ordinance on the 19th with an effective date 9 days after that.
Okay.
I think that postponing it, though, the applicant has applied under the old ordinance, hoping that you could take advantage of what is available in the old ordinance. And the applicant also understands that the new ordinance is not guaranteed, and we had, conversation about this site particularly, and if this would kind of flag a conversation about how large we're currently proposing accessory structures on lots between half an acre and I think 1 acre and 3 acres, I think is where this one would fall in the new ordinance. So the applicant could still, make changes to this one in this application and be reviewed under the old ordinance, or the applicant could wait for the new ordinance. So if you postpone, we'd still at this point use the current ordinance.
That's the case, and I think that would be the best way to go.
to what, to postpone. But if we postpone, then what, we're postponing for them to come back with a new design?
To update according to your feedback.
Give them
I don't-
a chance to decide, okay, how do we want to handle it?
Whether
Yeah.
they want to do that or withdraw this and
Yeah,
start.
I mean, something this big, you just don't want to say, oh, we'll do it this way, and I think it's more fair to postpone and let them have a chance to say, okay, let's go back and talk it over and figure out what direction to go. Disagree with that?
Yeah, I don't either. And when I'm in your position presenting to a commission, if it seems like I don't have the votes, I would usually just ask to have it tabled. And I just hear your feedback and come back. I also, though, and I've said this to these folks before, I also, though, don't like the feeling of just like telling you to go back and try again. So
But we've given them
I
feedback.
think the feedback is pretty specific, at least that I've heard, so I mean, I would expect that with those specific requirements, or suggestions, that if you came back with those, that it would be approved. And like with that information, it's up to you to decide, you know, how you want to proceed.
So you're saying 1,200 square feet, 22 foot tall,
That's what I've heard.
that's to the peak,
To the peak,
or is that to the midpoint?
to the peak,
To the peak.
the peak.
And what? Do we know what the new order is, or?
So some folks up here are involved in the process, but it hasn't. I mean, it's not approved until it's approved, so they're kind of
Show
privy.
up Wednesday night, because this room will be packed full of people.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close to 1,200 square feet, 22, yeah, because what we're saying is, the size of the lot, right? The accessory building can be X percentage of the size of the lot. So, I mean, it might be 1,250, we have to run the math, but it's not gonna be, like, it might be 1,150.
And part of it is either fortunately or unfortunately live in the R2 district. You know, I mean, that's really the bottom line of all of this is it probably feels like you live in the ARC district, but you live in the R2 district. And so R1, sorry, not the R2, R1. And so you're put into that zoning box, and part of it is a smaller lot size, which you have, you know, not having to purchase a huge lot to build a home on and all of those pieces. There comes pluses and minuses within living in the R2 or R1 districts. And part of it is accessory buildings, because it's the same zoning for more residential looking areas than where you currently live, but.
So the question is, the guy right behind me is very tall, very big barn, right next to his house. And yes, he does have 8 acres, but if you see, it's just as close as mine is. So why is that different? You know, you drive by, it looks the exact same as my place, and the rest of the property is ultimately irrelevant.
Cause he has 8 acres, right? So it's a percentage, right?
And
In
what's
proportion to the road, talking proportion to the house.
Also R1.
If anything, my proportions to the size of the house to the size of the barn is less than his, you know? And so you drive by, people don't know if he has 8 acres or not. You know, it's literally right next door, and it's twice as tall and twice as big as his house.
See, unfortunately, we know he has 8 acres, right? And then it's not just you, and I know it feels like it's you, but it's the 5 people after you that say, hey, Dan put one up, how come I can't put one up? That's not, mine's proportionate, his, you know, and now everybody has 1,500 square foot utility. I agree.
Yeah.
I would like one too, right? But,
My husband would be very.
oh yeah, we'd all be
Yeah.
happy, right?
Yeah.
Starting to stop.
I mean, I don't think the problem is the proximity. I don't necessarily have a problem with the proximity to your house and where you have it located. It's really just the size right now based on where we're at in the current code.
If it were in your back corner of your property, I'd be okay with 1,500 square foot and 22 or 27 foot high. It's in the back corner, right? Right next to your house. You know,
So how big can I go in the back corner?
Really open a can of.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm okay. If he puts it in that back corner,
So can I show you something?
yeah,
So, you know, my kids all have dirt bikes and quads.
Yeah.
Like, I have way too many things. And so currently, we have like a little track right here that we ride on. And, you know, it's telling the neighbor, like, if I put this here,
Sorry.
it pushes us back to here. If I push this to here, then it pushes us over here. You know, with riding around and the kids, I mean, with, you know,
Mhm.
and so I have no problem putting it back here. Or even back here.
Mhm.
I have no problem with that. But it just forces, you know, riding, dirt bikes, quads, you know, more up around the houses versus in the back. You know, so talking with my neighbors, we're like, yeah, that makes the most sense. But, you know, if it's a matter of, if I can get approved back here, that's what we'll do. you know? I think it has more of a negative effect on the neighbors, you know, which is, seems to be what obviously you guys are most concerned about, which makes sense. But.
You don't have anybody behind you though, don't you? Isn't it all woods behind you?
Yeah,
Or are
it's all-
there,
Yeah, it's all woods. Yeah,
and that's, if I remember correctly on the thing, that's a pretty big lot back there. I
yeah, it's
mean,
like 8 acres.
Yeah, that's the other guy.
That's the other guy we're just talking about.
Wendy, he's okay with the moving the height.
Yeah, I'm not playing the move it around game. I don't like it.
Okay.
My job is to follow rules 99% of my life. And I think that we open a whole nother can of worms if we haven't thrown it in the back corner of his property.
What would that be?
The minute your neighbor wants to split his lots and then, you know, there's all these,
I'm not splitting a lot.
I'm not talking about you. I said your neighbor with the 8 acres. The whole
Oh.
point is you're in an R2 district or R1. I don't know why I keep saying.
Yeah, I know.
I think because R1 should come first and that should be more condensed and then we should go R2 further out and then we should.
But it's
go
the
down
other
this
way around.
roll. Yeah. It's the district you live in. I live in the same district. No, that's why we own 130 some acres north of here. It's because of the same problems you're having here. That's why. We all like we said, having toys, having places to put them. There's just rules within certain districts where we choose to purchase our homes.
I think I think tabling it's probably the best bet for you too. Cause. I don't think you're gonna win, dude. So I think we're gonna table it. I mean, I'm gonna make a motion to case number 25-3899, 8300 Cascade Road. I make a motion to table, postpone this case. 30 days
Say until the next planning commission
till the
hearing.
next planning commission meeting. Yeah,
Available.
Okay.
yeah.
I'll support that.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I'm tabling it. Yeah, so it gives you a chance to kind of, that means that we're gonna wait and see with the new ordinances that come out, right? This also gives you a chance to kind of think about it, right? And think like, can I live with it being smaller? Can I live with it being shorter? You know, maybe with the new ordinances, you know, 1,500 square feet might be 1,300 square feet instead of the 12 that we're proposing, right? So it's not in a bad spot, right? You don't have to pay for stuff. You can still modify the current approach, right? It just gives you more time to kind of think about it, wait and see what the new ordinances are that are coming out. So maybe they can help you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it gives you a little bit more options because the other option would be if you said, hey, you know, can you guys just vote on it today? And if we shoot it down, then, you know, you're just denied, you're back to the drawing table. And by the time you resubmit, you're probably under the new ordinance anyway, most likely. And so here, at least you have the option to modify and come back under the existing ordinance.
Without having to pay.
Without having to pay.
Yeah.
More fun. Yeah, and start at the beginning of the process again.
Okay.
So,
It's a tough call.
it's a tough
What's
call.
Tough call. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
all right. Sorry,
yep, no, thank you.
we're
Thank
trying.
you.
All right, Article 8, case number 25-319, 7890 36th Street.
Okay, this was a tough one and we went kind of back and forth with the applicant. If you recall at the public hearing for the zoning ordinance on August, I think that was 18th. One of the neighbors came in and was not in favor of the ordinance with relation to where buildings could be, and he really wanted to be able to put his structure in his front yard. He's on a corner lot. One of those lots is let me put in the address and show you. 7890. One of
If I interrupt you, I just wanted to let you guys know, you don't have to like stay and sit through this if you don't want to.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're used to people just getting up and walking out.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
That was a good suggestion.
Did we already see this case?
I don't believe, not since I've
Oh,
been here, but this is the property. 7890. So the gentleman, the applicant had went out to some of his neighbors and provided a survey or a picture kind of saying, I want to put my structure here. Are you okay with it? And what he had provided, we wanted to be able to take the input that he got from his neighbors and actually have it in a legible form. And it was just kind of like a box that showed where he wanted it and it didn't have any,
Oh, yeah, you didn't have,
dimensions.
yeah.
And then the picture that he provided us, the location was a little bit different where he wanted this structure. So I kind of explained to him, first off, I've told him from the beginning, this is gonna be an uphill battle. Likely, it's gonna be a hard one to be approved because the special use that he's requesting is for a structure located in the front yard. He wants to locate his structure just to the west of the pool as it sits right now. So like I said, we had many conversations about the appropriateness of this on that lot. And after, kind of getting this ready for the planning commission, I actually suggested that he just ask for us to hold the public hearing today, get some feedback from anyone in the public that cares about it, and then postpone this one as well until we can get a more solid plan of what he wants to do. I suspect that he may be just withdrawing this request based on the feedback that we gave him, but he may still do the work. So because we noticed it, doesn't mean we can't hold another public comment. I think it's valuable to just hear from anyone that happens to care. He did have a list of neighbors that it was kind of like this yes or no, and I was really unclear on what they were signing on to approving, or I wasn't clear and didn't feel like we could communicate that. Staff and the applicant could communicate to you, planning commissioners, what exactly, one, he was requesting or telling neighbors he was going to do, and two, their feelings about it. So I didn't think that it was profitable without further clarification from the applicant to bring this forward. So that's why we notice it. I'd like the planning commission, if willing, to hold the public hearing and see if anyone is online, get any feedback. We may be just doing a whole nother public hearing and hearing it again if he wants in the future. That's why we just kind of left it on the agenda. But I think that's kind of all I have on that.
Okay. Does anybody have questions for staff?
No.
Take a motion, make a motion to go to public hearing.
So.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Anybody online or anybody? All right, make a motion to close public hearing.
motion to close public hearing.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, yeah, I'd want to see like drawings and where he's gonna put it and everything, yeah. So, but he wants to put it, so is the pool right under this number 4? Is that what it is right here? Must be.
I will pull it up,
Yeah.
but like I said, there was conflicting images that I was having a hard time even understanding exactly where he was gonna put the building. Having some problems with.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna need renderings, all that stuff. All right, so there's the pool.
What's the address? Is 8D36.
So this was one of the drawings that we got that has a proposed shed. This was actually done by an engineer, but then it was
The pool's the circle, okay.
somewhat inconsistent. No, the pool, yeah, the pool's above ground circular pool that he's said.
All right, so it's this
So
right here,
he-
it's a circle right here. And he wants to put it in front of the pool?
On the west, adjacent to the pool on the west.
Right here.
Is this on the, I just want to make sure it's the right spot. Is this on the corner
Right there,
of
that's where he wants to put it.
Oak Apple
Yeah.
Avenue and and
Dude,
Yeah.
come on.
Yes,
his address is not Oak Apple?
no, his address is 36th Street.
That's so bizarre. His whole
Yeah,
driveway,
I
everything.
mean, it's a weird lot and it's on a corner.
Yeah,
Right, but look at his driveway, everything comes in off this Oak Apple, but his address.
I'll walk.
So then what's his front yard then? With the front yard?
He has
then?
two front yards.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's two front yards.
So that's why, this is the front yard, why he can't put it there.
Right.
And this is the front yard.
So where does he want to put it next to the west?
Somewhere in this area.
The west of the pool.
In
Yep.
this drawing, he wanted to put it kind of a little bit south of the pool. In the drawing that was,
Looks like
That
there's a
was-
garden west of the pool.
yeah, and I think he was gonna remove the garden. In the document that he was, circulating to the neighbors, the square was kind of like, actually just directly adjacent to the pool. So that's where I was having a problem bringing it to the planning commission, because if the applicant had been providing something to the neighbors that was
different.
inconsistent with, yeah, it's
Is that just, is his property just that rectangle then?
Looks like.
no.
Like
Does
an
it
L.
have the-
Yeah, I see
Does
L.
it have the L?
Yeah, this is and that's another, I wanted a survey that showed where the relation to the existing building is. So here's the existing building. There is a garage that pulls in off Oak Apple. The front of the house, the address is facing 36th Street, and it's the address there. The pool is directly to the south of the home. He has a large wooded area that he said, I don't want to put it there because I want to be able to see it, which is,
What if he, what does everybody think about putting it on the east side of the pool, the other side of the pool?
Or at least, I mean, he's got a big chunk back there.
yeah, so that was a big conversation, is that we explained to him areas that this would be compliant.
Okay,
And he chose to apply for an accessory structure in the front. He really suggested, was,
So why isn't he here?
cause he knew it was getting tabled.
Cause his drawings aren't even,
I guess my question is, why are we tabling this? Why don't we just deny it?
Well, and that's, I mean, that's. my
Like, it's in the front of the yard, it's,
Agenda. We don't have any.
we don't have to table it. We can just deny it. And just say, no, you can't have it there.
Then we go back to he has to pay again.
Well, then he should have been here. Like, I'm sorry, but
Somebody told him he didn't have to be.
yeah.
This-
Yeah,
that's
I-
Public hearing.
Yeah. We
Okay,
explained that
okay.
it would, yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't think I would deny it.
I think that it would be good. We can
it's a
communicate
year-
this back to him. I think that there's a good chance he'll probably just withdraw his application anyway, but the process has been pretty difficult for him.
How big
because
is the piece that he wants? Or like the building?
The building is, I think, 30 by 4.
What's
Set it up.
small?
20 by 30, so
20
600 square
20
feet.
by 30?
Yeah, the size was not an issue. He wasn't asking for a special use for an accessory structure larger than 830 feet. It's just the location. And that's, I mean, he has said, that the septic is an issue, and I said, you've got to provide the planning commission with a plan then that shows that. You got to see it, because we can go back and forth in a meeting, in our office, but that's ultimately not the goal here. We need a full application for the planning commission, so.
and the issue is that this is considered his front. yard,
Correct.
Which is kind of unfortunate, really. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
So like
That's
his
to all
pool,
the other people on Apple, or whatever that.
so his pool's in his front yard? I mean, that's.
no,
is
the
that-
pool, and this again, the drawing doesn't have the location of the home, but the pool is
Next to it.
next, is consistent with the plane of the house. So the front yard, the line of the front yard kind of runs straight with the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I pull up the
So if you
Google
did-
Maps satellite version,
Yeah.
his address, so it kind of,
If
Yeah.
you put it on the other side of the pool, east side of the pool, it's not a problem.
no, not all.
And he doesn't want to put it there because.
He's septic,
Yeah, he's
All the stuff.
indicated that there's septic there.
which would make sense. If
Yeah.
that's where.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go further back because he wants to see the building.
He wants to see the building.
Right.
I don't. Okay, I mean, I'll table this, I just don't understand why we're tabling it.
Well.
I mean. But,
Yeah,
but,
I did suggest just keep it on and get any public comment, because we had already noticed it. So I didn't see the disadvantage of getting any public comments.
Fine.
But I hear what you're saying also. that
Yeah,
there's
and
some
for
very
me,
big
it's
challenges.
not even really clear what he's asking for exactly, so I would be in favor of giving them an opportunity to present that to us and have us at least know.
All right, then I'll make a motion. I mean, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about this one? I'll make a motion for case number 253901 to postpone hearing this case until the next planning commission meeting.
Support.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Article 9, acknowledge visitors and those wishing to speak. Nobody good? Article 10, any other business?
Yep. One very exciting
So
order
next
of.
year's schedule.
Yep, so you all have in front of you a draft version of the proposed schedule. I will note that the version that you have in front of you has one date that's different. It says September 21. It's in place of September 16 because September 16 is, I think, like a Wednesday. 21 would be the second or the third Monday in September. This has one or two meetings for every month except for February and September. February, the third Monday of February is President's Day. September, the first Monday of September is Labor Day. So in this schedule, we have proposed just completely removing those and holding one regularly scheduled meeting. I had already talked to Chairman Rowland. He had some suggestions about maybe adding 2 meetings. And in the past, that's what we've done, is just shifted the February and September meetings to different Mondays and holding 2. That is completely up to the planning commission. Staff has no recommendations. It's completely up to the planning commission what you'd like to do, and we can make sure that the Wisner Center is available. If you'd like to maybe throw around the idea of holding the February meetings on different Mondays.
So my thought was having them on the calendar and then canceling them is easier than not having them on the calendar. And then guess what? We've got 8 of them we need to hear, right? Or, hey, that's fine. We only have 1. Then March, the first meeting, we have 10 we have to hear, and now we're here till midnight. So I don't know. It was just a thought.
Just do it every other Monday, and that way it's easier just to postpone or cancel. Like maybe something would come up. We have one at the early part of February, but something might come up.
Cause then that gives us way too many.
It gives us a lot, it gives us a lot more.
What's that?
But the
More
problem.
meetings?
Yeah,
I'm
but you're
gonna-
not gonna have them.
But I mean,
we
but
didn't have
this-
any last month.
But I'm gonna say something, as somebody who has multiple night meetings that I need to schedule my life around, I schedule my life around them.
Yeah.
So I don't take vacation then, because I don't find, like, if I'm gonna make a plane ticket, I don't know, Andrew's not gonna tell me now that in February, we're gonna cancel a meeting. So I schedule my vacations and big things usually around meetings unless something else comes up or they have something to do. And if we're gonna do 26 meetings a year, every other week, that means my board meetings 99% of the time fall on the opposite ones, and
You're getting paid
Yeah.
PTO.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, Bub, too, this year, this is my fourth year. No, it seems long. I think I've been doing this longer than 4 years. but maybe.
And I'm gonna say one more thing, so sorry.
No, go ahead, interrupt me.
No, I did, totally. Totally. No, but the reason I did that is I'm gonna forget. We used to, prior to the last probably 3 years, we did in the planning commission, just, they were canceled. If there was cause the other one I wanna look at on here, I don't care anymore after this year, but spring break week too. I think that April meeting, the
Oh.
April 6th is probably spring break, if
Yeah.
anybody has, cause we used to cancel the President's Day 1 week, we'd cancel spring break week usually. Either Labor Day or Memorial Day, if either of those fell within the Monday that we're seeing.
Bless you.
meeting. And then it also usually depends if it's the week of Thanksgiving or Christmas, and those would just get canceled. They get canceled at the board level too. Like
Yeah.
our board, we have 1 meeting scheduled in December at the board level. That's how our meeting schedule is because of the holidays and how they fall. So I don't know why the planning commission would need more scheduled.
So this year, we've canceled a lot of meetings, but typically the last 3 years, we haven't canceled a lot,
You
but.
wanna know why? Because we raised the price of applications to be consistent with the actual amount of work that the staff puts into them. That's what I think, but I.
I don't think
And,
that's the case,
so,
'cause
but-
people, if they want something, they're.
Yeah,
paying.
you're right.
But it brings up another point in that, if with the new ordinance, we're not gonna be listening to, accessory
Special.
buildings, cause it'll go to ZBA, that'll cut that'll cut a lot out of our meeting, so maybe, I mean, and maybe we just leave it as it is then, and then we can go with the I mean, I don't know,
I don't have any problem.
okay.
I don't either. The only question I had is, like I said, I think December 21st being Christmas week, I don't know what people's normal life, if we have the majority of our board that leaves town for the week of Christmas or planning commission that leaves for that week.
I have no
Maybe-
vacation time.
Yeah, I would probably take
Yeah.
that one out, maybe, I would take that, yeah.
Take that one out.
Because
That seems
that's
to
the-
be-
And then the other one,
I'm
this is
fine.
my last year with a kid in school, but the other one would be spring break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have a senior this upcoming year.
The next year, so you
And
can
so is that
someplace
the
nice.
First, what is it, first week of March?
It's the first week
First
of April.
April, that April
So,
6th is probably.
Would
Is-
the planning commission like to just remove them outright, or would you like to look for alternate dates?
I think we just remove them.
Remove them,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would.
okay, which, thank you, because I
That's fine
also,
with me.
Okay, so April 6th and December 25th, you okay with that?
Robert?
Okay.
And then it-
You're like, you know.
I just say the only reason I brought it up is because we didn't have any meetings, even though we had them scheduled, we canceled.
I know.
Right,
That's what I'm saying,
yeah.
have them there and.
I would,
That's kind of was my thought too.
Yeah,
I would
Yeah.
prefer to cancel the ones that are during holiday times, and
Yeah.
then if something were to come up, Andrea will always.
Yeah.
Like she did yesterday or today, asking
Okay.
us when we can meet within the month that would work for everybody.
it's not a huge problem.
I'm jiggy with it.
I haven't heard that in forever.
That's good.
Jiggy with it. Will Smith, just so everybody,
Is the plan to stick at 6 o'clock for next year?
That is the burning question.
do you want, I mean, do you guys want to do it earlier? Like, I mean.
It just seems like 6 was like a compromise time.
Yeah,
basically.
six was it was very contentious time.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting- Wait,
Yeah.
this meeting,
All because of one commissioner.
this meeting during this last schedule.
Yeah.
3 hours, I think we spent on the schedule.
It was the only item on the agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to talk
The
about
only
the
thing on
schedule
the
and the
agenda.
time took
Wow.
multiple hours.
What time was
It
the meeting
It
before?
was shocking.
7.
That,
Oh, is it 7?
the meetings have gotten a lot quicker this year for some reason.
But don't make them earlier because unless you want to just throw me off.
Right.
Oh,
Are you?
I think 6 is
Huh?
right.
No,
Good,
I made it.
Is 6 okay?
yeah.
I was hoping it was county sheriff's looking around when I was running down. Unfortunately, from Central to Cascade Road, you can go pretty quick.
Yeah, no, and if you're not, yeah. And if you're late, it's not a big deal.
Well, I know, but I don't.
Gonna miss,
I get it.
miss the pledge.
I get it.
If-
Is
if 6 is kind of your first available time.
that okay with you?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Okay.
I just,
I like 6.
I actually like 6 better than 5 now. that-
Well, and we're asking people if they need to
5
be
o'clock. is the
here.
traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's about you, Wendy.
It's not.
It's all about you. For a minute, oh my God.
That comes up every meeting.
It's always all about
Yeah, I
you.
just sit here and take this.
Okay, so 6 o'clock, moving the 21st, and we're moving April 6th.
Yep.
And December 21st.
And December 21st.
21st.
Leave February is only one and leave September is only one. We can adjust accordingly.
Yep.
So everybody's aware, I will not be here in December for the first meeting. So I'm not gonna be here for the second meeting.
Did you supply it, though?
I need to email you though and let you know. that
You did officially tell me.
I did officially tell you, so
As long as it's not one of the big hearings.
Poor guy.
Oh, that was.
Vice Chair, he
He
did.
did
He
great.
did great.
So I was disappointed that I missed that one. I was in Canada, so. But
We missed.
it would have been better to be in this location.
100%.
That was.
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah,
That
that
was
whole
part of-
timing.
Why, what was it before?
When we were at the public.
We had the
hearing for
public hearing for the zoning.
Or
ordinance.
at-
We also
yeah,
thought we had
fire station.
Fire station.
Yeah.
That was that.
apologize for leaving you guys high and dry on that one. It just.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You're probably rubbing your hands together.
Up.
Watching online.
In
yeah.
Montreal, eating some French food and entertaining customers. No, I was,
Such a good time.
I was cocktails and entertaining and working a big deal, so.
Well, while we're discussing schedule and while I have everyone here, I'd like to quick talk about a couple meetings that are coming up. So on November 17, we are gonna be canceling that meeting. We had some kerfuffles with this notice, so we didn't get the notice. It wasn't correct. So we are canceling the November 17 meeting.
Wait.
Uh,
Sorry, okay.
we're holding the 12/1 meeting at which Alan will not be here. And there will be no drama, hopefully.
No, because Wendy will be here.
I'd like to propose adding an additional meeting because we do have, we just tabled 2 items. Is it possible, we don't have any zoning board of appeals items on 12/9, so I know that the room will be open. Is it possible that you could check your calendars quickly to see if 12/9, which is a Tuesday, would be available for an alternate planning commission hearing?
Hang on a second, I just wanna revamp what you said.
Wait.
So the 17th
This-
is getting canceled, we're
Yeah.
keeping the first.
Yep, correct.
And what about the 15th?
The 15th, I'm trying to cancel right now. I'm
Okay,
trying
but
really hard. to
potentially
cancel
we could
this.
have 1, 9 and 15, just to make sure.
No,
Yeah,
1 and 9, do 9 instead of 15.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would propose. I actually do have conflicts,
Okay.
personal conflicts
So
that
we
I'd
would
like.
cancel
to-
December 15th and instead
Yeah,
have a
that's-
meeting on December.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Where does December 9 come in?
just, I'm asking if the
It's a
planning commission is available,
Day.
if we can hold a public, or if we can hold our regular, a new planning commission.
Well, that's, I think Monday is, the room's not open, is it?
Yeah, there's a HOA meeting here, so yeah, if possible, I'd rather hold it in this building than on a Monday.
But you can't, 'cause it's not available, so.
So
if
it's
you
either
want
this
to-
building on a Tuesday or somewhere other location on a Monday.
Yeah, we could maybe do a fire station, that's possible. We can look into that.
You see how crowded we are.
Didn't I?
It was not good for the zoning meeting at the.
I don't think anybody expected a bunch of people to show up
No.
like that either.
I would probably be able to make either.
Okay,
Same.
Same.
all right, so. I guess you really, I don't care either way, you have to make a decision then, if we wanna do the fire station, do we wanna do the fire station if it's open? And Tuesday if it's not, or just
Is
go
that
with
meeting
Tuesday?
on the 10th? Right.
Yes, there is, yes,
I would rather do the 9th here, but I don't, I can do.
I think the 9th is fine,
okay,
Tuesday. At 6.
yep, 6
Yep,
o'clock,
that would work for me.
Okay, let's just do the 9th here.
okay, we'll wait on that, thank you guys for accommodating that.
Yeah,
We'll-
maybe, might get canceled, who knows?
It's not getting canceled, I know that, it's possible,
Why would you say it won't?
Because
She has something planned that she needs.
we have items coming up.
So she has something that.
He wants to give us gifts and a party and she's
Yes.
keeping it secret.
Yeah, well, we have, so now we're moving, we have an accessory structure, another accessory structure of 40 by 80. So a 3,200 square foot accessory structure that's requesting, they want to do a pickleball court. That is. Essentially gonna be.
How big of a
I
lot?
love it when you laugh.
How big of a lot?
And
Oh, I think
where?
it was like 6 acre, no, it's not even,
What location?
6 acres.
What zone?
it, 8178 Bolt.
What is that?
It's, I feel like it's not that big of a lot but it's by another lot, and I suggested that maybe they consider purchasing.
Isn't Bolt off?
Well, hopefully we'll have our new ordinances by then.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
could be in a PUD, or it could be in R1, or it could be in ARC.
I'm pretty sure that it's
Is it the north?
ARC.
North or
So-
south side of the road?
So here's I have it up.
What-
It's on the. It's on the south side of Bolt. It's. The southernmost property with this
Are they gonna put it in the middle of the lake? or-
2.3 acres. And they wanna put it here.
Right there in the middle of the lake.
Is there a lake?
That's what you're
I
showing
mean, that's
us.
what you're showing us.
Showing us a lake. Well, that's a nice piece of property.
Yeah, I want to see how they float it.
So that's one of those
Sorry, I
floating
wasn't-
pickleball courts.
I wasn't mirroring
At
anymore.
the foot of the mountains there.
So Buttrick here, Bolt is here.
So they're way the hell out there.
Yeah,
If they're putting in the back of the property.
so this is
Okay.
Grand River. So they want to put a massive pickleball court here. There is a, huge property to the south, a 40-acre property to the south that we had said maybe it may be more beneficial for you to potentially purchase some land to the south, and then it would be an easier request. It's huge. It's pretty, it's huge, but
Is it,
Well, and there's a lot of noise with pickleball too.
is it commercial that, like, is it just for their personal use?
I
Yeah.
think they just want their own pickleball court and a really pretty building.
A lot of people, believe it or not, they're putting them in their backyard.
Yeah.
It takes less
How
room
big is a
than a
pickleball
tennis
court?
Yeah.
Not
That-
half,
yeah.
a quarter size of this.
Have you played it?
Or it's a tennis court.
I know.
It's a little smaller than a
How-
tennis court.
What size is it again? The bar?
60 by 50.
60 by 40.
400 square feet. Holy shnikes.
Whoa, hello.
God, you know how hot that's gonna be in the summertime?
That's what.
It'll have air conditioning, don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Good for them.
I'm just making it up, but if I'm gonna build a 40 by 60 pole barn or something for pickleball, it's gonna be have heat and air.
Yep, it's very large.
I would say that
So-
it'd be done not to.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, anyone is always welcome to apply, and we treat the process the same, so,
All right.
yeah.
Ball court is 20 by 44.
I was just gonna say, I just Googled the same thing.
Recommended total area is at least 30 by 60.
Backhand shots.
An extra 10 by 50 is.
All right, does anybody have any other business?
No.
Nah.
No?
All right, Article 11, motion to adjourn.